found out you were nominated for, you've been in the business for a while, and you've, like Tully said, had so many different hats. When you found out you were nominated for the Breakthrough Award, I mean, what was your reaction?
Well, it was just an honor. You know, it was a pleasant surprise. And you're right, I do a lot of things. I'm not sure any of those are award worthy, but it was nice to be recognized for sure. I was not born or bred in the business at all. Grew up, my father always had horses. He had a couple of thoroughbreds, and my sister showed horses a little bit. But I never heard of harness racing until I literally moved across the street from the Red Mile in college when I went to UK. And I had a buddy that said, hey, let's go over and check out the Red Mile. And I didn't even know what they did there. I said, what is it? And he said, it's just like Keeneland. They race, you can bet. You know, let's go check it out. So we did, and I really fell in love. The first time I believe I was ever there was a Grand Circuit afternoon. So great racing, you know, great horsemen. It was just, you know, a great show, and I just fell in love with it and met a lot of people in the business and started there professionally, if you want to call it professionally, as a teller. And after that, you moved in to start doing just a little bit of announcing and took off from there.
Tell me about the first horse you owned.
Well, I met shortly thereafter getting into the Red Mile, I met Pete Foley, who many people may know trained both the doer. And Pete's been a great friend. You know, we've had dozens of horses now together. But he told me at that time, he said, you ought to quit betting on these things and just buy one. So I took half of his advice. I didn't stop betting, but I did buy into a mare with him. And we had some success. Star Date Hall was the first horse I ever owned. She was an Abercrombie mare. She was at Scioto at the time. They had just left the Red Mile, so I went up and checked it out. And Pete actually told me, you know, she'd be a good broodmare prospect if after she was done racing. She was 3 at the time. I still didn't know a lot about what was going on, but I knew, you know, I really was gung-ho. I loved the business, wanted to get involved. So I'll never forget, I was up there like on a Thursday. She was in to go on Friday. Pete told me, he said, you know what, you can watch her race if you want before you make a decision, you know, but me, I'm just gung-ho, I want to go. So I said, no, I want to be in for the race. So I bought half of her before that race. It was just an overnight at Scioto, and she finished last and literally got beat 30 lengths. True story. So I'm thinking, this guy just took me, you know, I don't even know him really. And he told me naturally every excuse in the building. She tied up, this and that. And she actually came back 1 week later and she went off at 60-1 and she won. So literally within 7 days, I had a last by 50 lengths and a win. So the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Did you get to feed both of your addictions that night? Did you have her to win at 60-1?
You know what? I had like $5 to win. I didn't have much, but I did cash a ticket, I can't say.
You know, it's a hobby for you too, and it's also a career and a passion. How do you separate all that, or do you not?
Well, I think it's not really separate, because I think I'm just very fortunate to be able to do something on a daily basis that I do have a passion for, you know, and it's just like Brett, you know, our director of racing here at Pompano, he has the same passion I do for it, and, you know, we're never satisfied. So, you know, night in, night out, we're always talking about strategy, what could we have done to, you know, maximize the handle here and there, and what worked and what didn't work. So, you know, I feel like it's only, you know, almost like an everyday thing, but it's what I love to do. So, you know, that's pretty rewarding to be able to do it.
You see it from a different perspective because you own horses, you know about the business, you're also a handicapper, you work at a racetrack, you have to deal with the decoupling and the casino and everything. Not very many people have that well-rounded of a perspective. I mean, what do you really think, you know, what do you want to see happen for the sport, or what do you think we need to do?
Well, I think we just need to join the 21st century, to be quite honest. I think it's amazing as easy it is to gamble in most avenues these days. With racing, you have to, we make people jump through a lot of hoops out there. I think, you know, in this day and age, we ought to have live video, race replays, free programs. You know, I don't know logistically how to make that all happen, but I think we need to make it as easy as people to get involved. You know, people love just the ease of apps on their phone, doing this and that. And I think we've made a lot of great strides. You guys have with the social media and things, and hearing some of the ideas, it sounds like we're moving more in that direction. But that's what I think we need to do, is just continue to progress and make it easy on folks. You know, I have people that'll reach out to me on Twitter all the time. You know, I can't get a program for tonight. You know what site I could go and buy a program. You know, this and that. We just, even the people that do have somewhat of an interest, you know, we make it a little difficult on them. So I'd like to see us continue to progress to make it as easy as possible. We want everybody to be on board if they have an interest in racing.
Tell me a little bit about the first time you announced a race, because I think that would be terrifying, personally.
You know what? Here's the funniest story about the first time I announced a race. I called the race. I know I'd never done any qualifiers, never done any fairs, so I'm a little bit different. Most people, you know, go practice, record themselves. Kevin Mack was a great friend of mine, And when I was a teller at the Red Mile, I met him. He was the race secretary and he was the announcer. They were carding a lot of races, so he had to stay in the race office for a long time. And he said, Gabe, you know, they were having like 18, 19 races a night. And he said, I could really use somebody to call the first couple, 2 or 3 races here and there. You know, think you might be able to handle this, like 5, 6 horse fields. I said, sure, you know, Kevin, I like that. You know, like I said, I've always been a horse racing fan, and you know, I still always did enjoy, you know, listening to great race calls and things over the years. And again, my first time at the track was when Sam was calling during the Grand Circuit. So I always enjoyed it, never really envisioned myself doing it, but I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot and just see how it goes. So it was either my first or second night. It's an embarrassing story, by the way, but I'm going to tell you. First or second night, the calls have gone okay. I mean, believe me, not great, but I was serviceable, at least to get through it. And I'll never forget, a horse came back to the winner's circle, and I was just looking at the program, looking down, and I see a CH gelding. I don't know what a CH stands for, right? So I'm right there in the moment, so I step in and I say, you know, so-and-so just won this race. He's an 8-year-old chocolate gelding, I say. So that was literally like my first or second night on the microphone. To this day, if I see Sam Bowie, some of the guys back at the Red Mile, they always bust me and say, you got any chocolate geldings went down there lately? How's that going? So that shows you how green I was when I got started in the business. So to be where I am now is a little bit of a step forward.
Outside, here comes Worker Bee, and she is picking them up and laying them down. She's on the outside, and she's taking command. Dropping back to second, that's Electric Blanket. Banana slides out in between horses, and now she's flying in the middle of the track. But on the outside, it's Worker Bee, and Banana is charging up the inside. Worker Bee trying to hang on. Banana up the inside.
You know, again, we're looking to just move the needle here in Florida as well, so I just hope the places that I'm involved with and have something to do for, you know, I'm kind of energized and driven by success, so I just hope we can keep moving forward.